We all know Paul McCartney was replaced in 1966 after getting in a terrible automobile accident. That's a given. But what little do people know that Beatles fans have been replaced as well. Here is a case in point. We're on the Telegraph. I believe that is a British newspaper. I think it might even been a tabloid. But basically in 1964, predating Paul's demise in 66 by 2 years, Ringo Starr, remember he always pictured with a camera, and they played that up in A Hard Day's Night. He snapped a picture of some Beatle fans, or I guess skip school or something, to go see the Beatles or whatever. And years later, he wanted to know who those people were. And here they are. They recreated the picture from 1964. But here's a problem. As we know, Paul was replaced. His nose looks different. His ears look different. His lips look different. His eyes look different. Eyebrows look different. All those things. We know that. That's a fact. But look at these people. They've been replaced. They don't look anything like them. Let's start on here. Look at him. He's got glasses. That guy does not have glasses. The one on the left does not have glasses. Look at his smile. See how it sort of curves in on the right, his left side? It's not really curving in. Look at his nose. This guy up here has a big nose. He does not have a nose at all. I don't even know how he breathes. I guess it's through that gaping mouth. Look at his ears. You don't even see any ears on this guy. How about the second guy? Again, he's got glasses. That guy in front, he has no glasses. Look at his nose. See his nose? Sort of tilts out a bit. It's kind of thin. That is wide. He's got a wide nose. And what's that? What's that below his nose? What is that? Grass or something? A mustache. He's got a mustache. This guy has no mustache. He doesn't even look like he started shaving yet. Look at his ear. His ear is tilted off axis. About roughly 23 degrees, 27 degrees maybe. This guy's ear is only tilted about 7 to 11 degrees off axis. Look at the curve of the ear. I'm not seeing it there. Okay, how about the next one? The girl in the middle. Look at her teeth. She has no bottom teeth. There she is right there. Her mouth doesn't open. She's got a ring on her finger. She had a ring on a different finger there. Yeah, different finger. The ring is on a different finger. Look at her nose. She's got a pug nose right here. Her nose is like flat there. It's not pointed up. Look at the next one. See her nose? Now look at her nose there. It's a totally different nose. That's a different person. That nose is wider. This is narrower. Look at her lips. They're all flattened out. Elongated, widened. Right there. Full. And she has no ears, apparently. This one has at least 1.5 ears. And look at the one in the back. I don't even know what he's doing. These are weird, Masonic hand signs. And look at his nose. Look at that guy's nose. It looked like he was in a fight. Look, his nose is broke. And his ears are protruding outward. that guy has a rip in his ear. You can't have a rip in your ear and say that's the same photo. But that's how the people who look at the Paul McCartney photographs from 1963 is probably the earliest they see him. Well, they probably see some children photos. And they analyze things such as the nose, the ears, the lips, the eyes, and they never talk about, for example, George Harrison, what he's had done to him before he died. His plastic surgeon will take it to the grave, and also his dentist, or whatever you call him, do the beauty work on the teeth. His teeth were obviously changed. So weren't Paul's. I mean, British people. You know, Austin, there's been terrific advances in dentistry. What do you mean? They drink lots of tea. Tea filled with sugar. And tea, which is kind of a stain. You put the tea bag in the water and you see the stain come out. It's a dye, pretty much. It goes on the teeth, and you're drinking hot things. You can deteriorate the teeth, and I don't know, just all crooked teeth coming in wrong. Probably not a lot of braces going on back then in that country of Liverpool, and all sorts of other things. But obviously Paul McCartney's had a little work done. You don't become a star and not have people around you pretty much expecting you to keep up your appearances and doing all sorts of other things for your career. Because he could have quit a long time ago. But he was replaced. No. He does look like he had some surgery done. His nose looks a little different. And that's the thing. Noses and ears continue to grow. I'm sorry to tell all the fall lights. Your nose and your ears continue to grow. When you're smaller, younger, whatever, it's a little different. And your teeth can change around too, especially if you can afford to have them all replaced. I mean, do you really, really think, like someone like Keith Richards, who, where would they find a lookalike? He could walk on the set of Walking Dead and no makeup and just walk right on there. No script, walk across, say a few things, and he would fit right in. But his teeth are perfect because they're fake. He had all his teeth out probably during the time where he was snorting morphine or heroin or whatever he was doing, lots of drugs, which would have helped during the process, because having all your teeth ripped out would hurt. But then again, it would be a one-time hurt. It would last. It would last a while. There's a lot of nerves going on there. But sure, it helps if you have like a opiate problem, and you might be able to get by. And I'm sure the doctors will give you some more free opiates or prescription opiates for you to abuse. And you can get by with that, because he looks like a zombie, and his teeth do not look like a zombie. His teeth do not look like Sid Haig in House of a Thousand Corpses. They do not look like that, even though they're made out of the same material, probably. They could be porcelain. I mean, they can be different materials, or they're going to be acrylic, but they're definitely replacement teeth. And Paul McCartney's probably had his teeth fixed up too, because he's got to keep up with the Joneses, keep up with the other celebrities. But this other thing, they go by the ear, the angle of the ear. You know, the head can tilt back, tilt in, tilt to the side. And ears grow. They continue to grow. Look at a very old person. They have huge elephant ears. I got no reason to doubt that these are not different people. That's obviously a joke I just did. But it's the same thing with the Paul thing. Paul was replaced. There's all these clues. There's clues everywhere. He was replaced. No, what happened was a couple Beatles died. At least a couple. 2 or 3. Depends on your count. And he just got a better publicist. Really. Really, his career, if you go back to even when John was alive, he had a bunch of string of hits or whatever. And right before John dies, he's starting to get into electronic music. He'll do everything. He'll go into all these other music, and he really was distanced from everything. He was not producing anything that was really interesting. And most people hate it, and they still hate him. If you were alive in the 80s, people used to talk about the weather, and they would talk about the early 80s or late 70s. They'd talk about when the Beatles are getting back together. That was like a common theme. That came up right after the weather, if you were a certain age. But they never did get back together because John was shot. But after that, Paul McCartney was afraid of touching Beatles stuff. Now he just fornicates in it. And that's why people think he was replaced. Because he looks different now. It's called plastic surgery. I guarantee he's been under the knife. Guarantee. Not completely under the knife, because you can look a modern picture of him up. He looks like he's aging. And his voice is aging. And I think the Beatle fans mostly, there's going to be a certain amount of bandwagon people who jump on the fall. Fall off. I'm trying to come up with a new word. I was trying to say frivolities, but frivolities. They'll jump on the frivolities of it all. But basically, a lot of those fans who bought into that whole thing back in the late 60s were trying to freeze frame a time. They wanted it to stay that way. And they could not accept the fact that Paul was plucking his eyebrows. And he probably got a nose job. He looks like he got a nose job. And he was different. He's going to change in many different ways. Personality, evolve, if you will. He definitely has a publicist now. Someone that's like telling him, doesn't matter what you really believe. You have to say this. There's like a video online of him and, I don't know, he's going to the Howard Stern show. And you sort of get a glimpse of how he really is off camera. He could be a little bit of a prick and a pretentious one. And, he's a little bit fabricated. But it's a form of advertising. How you present yourself to the press and how you don't present yourself behind the scenes. He's always going to be a different person. People think they just buy into the entertainment. Ooh, Paul, ooh, the Beatles. And no, he's going to be a regular person. Although he probably could fight in a baggie and sell it. And you would buy it. And you would keep it in your freezer. But he wasn't replaced. He just had some work done. they all had work done to a certain degree. I mean, John, he dumped his first wife and then he got a dominatrix from Japan. Ringo, I'm not sure what happened to Ringo. He grew a beard. he got a disguise. Just Paul was replaced. Just Paul. None of the others were replaced. Mo, he was never. Well, they kicked him out of the group because he kept on poking John in the eyes, and John was kind of he wanted to be the leader, and Mo was like a pushy guy, and they kicked him out. They took the hairstyles, but they kicked him out. The other ones in the group, one got his head kicked in. He died of brain aneurysm or something. I don't know who else was in the group. But he wasn't replaced. Although Beatles fans have been replaced in many ways, other than what I just suggested. Signing out.